Once you've got the bones of your site in place, you should grade yourself against the original checklist before you keep polishing. This is the move that separates a polished result from a generic one. You can grab a PDF download of that 10K website checklist using the link in the description below. You set the bar high at the start, and now you check yourself against it. To do this, paste that checklist into Claude and ask, where does this site land against each of these criteria? Be honest. In my case, Claude goes through each one, calling out what's strong, what's mixed, and what's missing. For our build, Claude comes back with point of view strong, color strong, hierarchy strong, and typography mixed. Imagery, motion, mobile, and the invisible stuff are all mixed. You'll probably get a similar split on your project, and that's fine. The point is to know exactly what's left to do. For the items that need work, don't ask Claude to fix them one at a time. Ask Claude to propose a batch of fixes instead. And lead your ask with intent, not specifics. Here's the exact prompt I use for our build. I tell Claude, we need more handcrafted micro interactions. The lower sections feel a bit generic. We don't need to make them busier, just more expensive. Notice what I'm doing there. I'm not telling Claude what to add. I'm telling Claude how I want it to feel. Claude is better at translating intent into specifics than most people are at writing specifications. Claude comes back with a batch, film grain across the whole site, animated brass hairlines between sections, a glowing ember effect in the reserve a table section, word-by-word reveals of the headlines, and a few other small details on top. 5 small changes in one prompt. I approve them, and Claude ships them all at once. There's less back and forth that way, you spend fewer tokens, and the result feels more cohesive than if you drip feed Claude one tweak at a time. Now here's the move most people skip, and it's the move that does the most work on whether your site feels expensive. Once that batch of edits lands, scroll through your site section by section, and find the ones that still feel flat, a little boring. There's always going to be a couple. Claude won't catch them because Claude can't feel your site the way you can. This pass you have to drive yourself. For each flat section, you give Claude one specific motion or cursor interaction to add. One per section, all of them restrained and subtle. You can ask for something specific, grab something you like from 21st.dev, or just ask Claude what makes sense to add. In our reserve a table section, the ember glow from the batch is in, but it's still static, there's no movement. So I tell Claude, make the embers move like fire. Have them react to the cursor as it moves around the page. Claude adds a parallax effect on the embers that follows your cursor. Now the fire effect feels alive. Then I scroll into the story section, and it's still flat. So I tell Claude, add some elegant micro movements and cursor interactions here. This section is feeling very static. Claude adds a soft candlelight halo that follows the cursor as you read. Its first attempt, though, is too obvious, so I push back. I say, make it more subtle, more refined. Claude adds trailing motion to the halo so it lags a bit behind the cursor. That's the version we'll ship. 2 prompts, 2 sections. That's all this layer takes, but that layer is the difference between a site that looks expensive and one that feels expensive as visitors navigate the pages. The pattern is to review every section, find the ones that feel flat, ask Claude for one cursor interaction or piece of movement per section, and tell Claude to make it more subtle until the section feels alive without being noisy and obnoxious. Speaking of polish, copy, the written content on your site, is another place where AI tends to fall short by default. AI-generated copy usually over-explains, uses too many adjectives, and tries to sound impressive. Take a look at this line from our site. 6 dishes, 1 fire. That's restraint, not adjectives. That's what separates a $10,000 menu from a $200 one. The front-end design skill we installed at the start of this video is what helps Claude to write copy like this. Restrained, sensory writing is one of the things that skill pushes Claude toward, which is another reason it earns its place in every project. Here's another quick win you can apply to any AI-generated site. There's one font called Inter that's so overused on AI-generated sites it instantly screams, AI made this. If you see Inter in your output, ask Claude to swap it out. For our build, Claude swaps Inter for a font called Geist. It's a small change, but it makes a real difference to how the site reads. Item 7 on the checklist is mobile that's actually designed, not just shrunk down. By default, Claude makes your site responsive, meaning it'll fit on phones or other small screens. But responsive isn't the same as designed for phones. Phones are going to see your site way more often than desktops will. And if your mobile version is just your desktop version squished smaller, your viewers will feel it. You have to ask Claude for it specifically. So tell Claude to do a dedicated pass on the mobile version. Tell it to think about what should be hidden on small screens, what should be tighter, and what should resize. For our build, the navigation collapses on phones. The word mark gets tighter spacing, and the buttons get a smaller variant. With those polish passes done, all 8 checklist items are complete. Your site looks $10,000.